I don't know if there's too many out there that have set the world on fire. There's been some good ones, and there's been some shockers. Tyro was not good yesterday. Zip, of course, is going through some issues, and there's rumours that they're going to have some sort of capital raise. The hum numbers were out this morning. They weren't exactly spectacular. I guess the CSL one, from some respects, was pretty good and defied the critics. That stock was under a lot of pressure post the SPP. Of course, that was a massive SPP. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest one I've ever seen. It was nearly $1 billion for the share purchase plan. And that's what was actually committed by shareholders. I think they allocated around 970 odd million in terms of shares to new shareholders. So there's certainly a level of support there. And I think CSL did defy the critics, and being the big one, that was probably one of the standouts. The other standout, I guess, was National Australia Bank as well. That was a really good set of numbers. And for so long, NABs have been in the wilderness to some extent. They've been the bad boy of the banking sector and have been serial underperformers. But that did show that they were kind of back on track. The others, of course, CBA was a pretty solid number. The Macquarie number was pretty good, although they were a bit wishy-washy in terms of real numbers, but certainly their update to the market was pretty solid, but the stock hasn't done much since. So there has been some good ones, mainly it seems in the banks and the big stocks, but we have seen pressures certainly on some of the other stocks from the old supply chain issue, which has taken over from challenging as the phrase in many company reports this time round. But supply chain issues, inflationary pressures, staff retention costs, that cropped up a little bit yesterday with the DARES, and super cheap as well. And just getting hold of staff. We have, there's not been any immigration to speak of. There's not been any international students. And a lot of people have dropped out of the workforce or just changed careers from hospitality and retail, etc. So there has been some pressures on costs. That's certainly the case in IT as well, as we saw yesterday with Tyro and various others. There is a cost to retaining good staff, and good staff are hard to come by, as I'm sure you know. But I think CSL and NAB, certainly in the big ones, have been the standouts for me.